Hello and welcome to another Enso Viewing Gaming video, and they finally announced the 3rd anniversary Sugo going on Global. It will happen next week, starting on the 22nd of February, which is actually a little earlier than it was last year, but that's pretty cool I guess. There are 3 parts. Throughout all the parts, you will only be able to pull golds, I believe, on multis. On singles, you'll probably still be able to pull silvers. There's the legend rate is boosted by 3 times, which is pretty good. If we say it's 2%, then times 3 would be 6%. Still not amazing, but like if you're pulling a lot, you'll probably get a decent amount of legends. And if if it's like 3% or something, then that's like 9%, which is pretty nice. You almost get one every multi. They also announced the release of the Lucy batch, which is obviously really good. Barto and Cavendish work really strong together, as one reduces defense and then the other one boosts your attack against reduced defense enemies by 1.75 times, which is really strong in the meta right now. As well as, of course, Jesus Burgess, who's pretty strong, boosts damage against delayed enemies for a number of turns. And of course, Lucy is one of the most powerful characters in the game. Boosts pretty much a ×4 for strength, dex, and quick, as well as boosting their attack by ×2 for a special, which is just amazing. Like, if you reroll now, it's probably the best time ever to try and get him. I mean, you can wait later, maybe on a choose your own or something, but like, he is rate boosted, so if you want to try and get into the game or like reroll a new account, getting Lucy is a really good time to do it now. What else is there to say? So yeah, multi-pull counters reset each day, meaning that you can't like do 3 multis and then like on the second day do 3 more multis to get like the 6th thing on that multi. Like whatever you get on the second day, like you always start at 0 multis on each day. So there's 3 parts to it, and in this video we're going to talk about each part individually, and then explain kind of like, or at least discuss which part you should pull on depending on how many gems you have or which characters you own, because I don't think there's a clear-cut best part. I think there is one that's like kind of worse than the rest of them, but like it will depend on what you have in your box and how many gems you have. So I'm just gonna like give my opinion on like what you should do if you do have like a certain amount of gems or characters. So part 1 is what probably I'm gonna pull on, because 1, I'm impatient, but like it's probably best overall for me anyway. The special thing is that 6+ lore of version 2 lore is available to pull just on any pull. You don't have to pull him on the 6th multi, he's guaranteed, but you can just pull him at any other point. And he's a really strong character, probably best as a sub because he boosts cerebral orbs by 2.25 times, but as a captain he's still really good. Over V2, like not 6+ version, he obviously has a HP boost, which the regular V2 lore does not have, as well as he does more fixed damage but it isn't AoE. But he does remove barriers for 1 turn, which is really nice, especially if you want to do Raid Senji. That's super great against Raid Senji. So he's available at any time, and he's guaranteed on the 6th multi. Not only that, he's max level, max special, and he has max sockets. That's just freaking sweet. So if if you never have like an OP legend, 6+ lore is a pretty decent one to start with. Though of course, like it's a lot of like the Dream Team cerebral characters are like rare recruits and legends, so it's a bit expensive in that way to like get the best team. But like even with like a suboptimal team, you'll be able to beat like most of the content in the game. He's a really good captain and really amazing sub. So second multi of if you pull on part 1, you get a guaranteed legend on the 11th pull. It can either be Lucy, but that's a low rate, so I'm assuming pretty much no one's going to get Lucy on the 11th pull on the second multi. So just assume that you're going to get one of the old kind of garbage legends. Some of them are good, so I'm going to run through them really quickly. Log Luffy is the first one you could get. He is okay. Like, he was amazing back in the day. Like, he topped the first 2 top 10 legend lists I did. So like, he can beat a lot of the old stuff, but like a lot of the new content is a bit more difficult because there's like barriers and stuff that he really struggles against. So if you pull him, he's not the end of the world, but he's not amazing. Next one's Barto. He's okay as well. He gets a 6+ soon, where he turns into quick, and then he boosts the attack of Driven and Strikers by ×3, as well as his special boosting their attacks by 1.5 times for 1 turn, as well as protecting you from defeat. So he's okay now, and in the future he'll be pretty decent. Next one is Jinbei. He doesn't have a 6+ yet, and right now he's not great. He does give you full matching orbs for fighters, but if you're using a gear 14, that's not too amazing anyway. Mihawk is actually really good. Right now he's okay with the special dealing like half the damage you dealt last turn in special damage. That's really useful against a lot of content. But when he gets the 6+ form, his captain ability boosts the attack of slashes by 3.5 times, which is really nice. And then his special becomes even more versatile since it has 2 stages. So Mihawk's probably one of the best to get out of this batch. Next one's Sabo. Sabo, again, he's okay. The regular 6 form is kind of garbage. 6+ Sabo is pretty good as a captain, but really good as a sub for time skip Luffy teams. So he's again another decent character. Stronghold Ace with the 6+ that is coming as soon as this Sugofest comes as well is actually really nice. 3.5 times attack boost, I think. No, it might be 3.25 times. Either way, it's a pretty decent attack boost for shooters, and his special will boost their attack by ×2, so he's really good. Maybe one of the best, yeah. It's like between him and Mihawk I'd say is the best characters you can get here. Strong World Shanks, also his 6+ form is coming with the Sugofest, but he's still pretty garbage. When he's 6+, you always get a 2.75 times attack boost, and the only thing you lose as you lose HP is the orb chance, which is whatever. And his special makes it so like all your characters get psi orbs, which is well, his captain ability already makes you get a lot of psi orbs, so the special is kind of redundant. You can use him, I guess, as like a sub on a time skip Luffy team, because that's like full matching for Free Spirit. Like if he was a Free Spirit character, he'd actually be a pretty decent sub for time skip Luffy. But since he's like Cerebral Slasher, he's kind of meh. Next one is Sengoku. Sengoku also sucks pretty bad right now. ×3 captain, which obviously is nice and reduces your specials, but like he's so outclassed by pretty much any other legend that you probably don't want to pull him. Boa 6+ and regular is pretty meh. Rayleigh pretty meh. 6+ is good for Gear 14s, but otherwise is not that great. He does, you know, reduce bind, despair, and paralysis. So if you run into something that has a lot of that in one go, then you know he can be useful, but he's pretty niche, so not a great. Whitebeard, he's pretty decent. If you 6+ him, he gets 1.75 times attack boost at all times, and then below 30% is ×3, and a 30% HP cut is not too bad at any point in the game. So yeah, those characters you can get on second multis are like kind of, it's a mixed bag. You can get good, you could get like a bad character. Obviously if you get Lucy, you're just laughing because that's amazing. Out of all the characters there, I own 6 of them, so pretty much likely I'm gonna get a dupe legend, but 5,000 raid shot points is nothing to laugh at. Then on the third multi you get a guaranteed lore, as I said previously, V2 lore 6+, max special, max level, max sockets. So that's the main reason why I'm pulling on the first day. I'm sorry, third multi on the 6th pull. not the third, but that actually be too amazing. I was reading it wrong. It's third multi you get a guaranteed legend, and then on the 6th multi you get guaranteed V2 lore. So 300 gems is needed to get guaranteed 6+ lore on day 1. And then on the 9th multi you get a guaranteed Lucy, Enel, Sanji, Zoro, or Luffy with max special. That's really good. All these legends are pretty strong. Weakest ones either Enel or Sanji. They're both kind of like niche but cool legends to have. Like you probably want like a top tier legend like Lucy or Neko first, but after those guys, getting Enel or Sanji is pretty nice. Lucy obviously is OP, Luffy OP, Zoro he's probably like a tier 2, tier 3 legend. He's tanky, he does decent damage, but he's not amazing. But if you pull him, he's not, you know, it's not a bad pull at all. And then on the main thing to look at is the rated up units. So because you pull so many, like if you're doing 6 multis like I am, you're gonna get a lot of these characters. So it's important to look at what rare recruits are rate boosted. The legends that are rate boosted, Lucy, well that doesn't matter too much because he's rate boosted throughout the whole Sugofest. And now again, as I said, he's a niche use because like his special is like if you overheal a lot, his special can do up to like 3 million damage, which is nice, but it's kind of hard to use. And in the future when V2 Doflamingo comes out, his special can do like 50 million damage, so like 3 million damage from the Nell is not that amazing. Sanji again, pretty niche. If you run into anything that like super disables your captain, having Sanji is really nice, but otherwise he's kind of niche as well, not great. Timeskip Luffy, as I said, is pretty OP. Legend Buggy, if you don't have him, you want 1 copy obviously, because he duplicates a drop, which like guaranteed, so that's really nice. It's kind of, anytime you pull Buggy, it hurts, because like, I wanted like a good legend. But if you didn't have him, it's actually a really nice pull. Zoro again is a decent legend. Legend Blackbeard's really good. He's so useful against like certain Colosseums, like if they have a damage threshold or a barrier, and it's just really annoying, you can use a Legend Blackbeard. Of course you can use a friend, but like having one yourself is also pretty nice. Plus, like you can have a lot of HP cuts with a Legend Blackbeard team. So when young Garp comes out, you can do crazy teams where you just cut their HP and then insta kill them with Garp. So that's always a fun thing to do. Legend Fuji used to be one of the best characters in the game. Now he's kind of fallen off since he only gives a ×3 boost when you have a matching orb. But he's still decent enough to use, but like he's not tier 1 like he used to be. Legend Bartu already covered. Legend Corazon, pretty meh character. He can be used as a zombie captain, but not most used most of the time. V1 Lucci is pretty good with the 6+ form. It's 3.5 times attack boost if you have a matching orb, 3 times otherwise, I think. He's pretty strong and a very powerful powerhouse captain. Strongbolt Ace talked about already, Strongbolt Shanks talked about already, Boa V1 talked about already. Roku Bato and Cavendish are rate boosted on the whole Sugo, as is Diamante and Jesus Burgess. All those characters are pretty decent, nothing to write home about. The rest of the rate boosted recruits are okay. There's nothing like that jumps out at me that's really good. The rest of them are decent. Like the time skip Straw Hats are good. All the other all the other recruits are pretty decent as well. I'd say overall, if you care more about the legends than you do about the recruits, then day 1 is the best. Now on to part 2. The first multiple guaranteed is Kimono Urigi. This is actually kind of important because if you don't have Neptune, Urigi is kind of an okay replacement. He boosts the Pirate EXP you gain by 1.5 times, the same amount as Neptune, but he does only boost attack by like 1.75 times, not as good as Neptune, which is 2.25 times for all characters. But yeah, if you don't have Neptune and you want a Pirate EXP booster, Urigi is pretty nice to have, especially you only have to spend 50 gems that are guaranteed to get one. Second multiple, you get Kimono Vivi, who is the booster for Belly. She boosts the amount of Belly you get by 2.5 times, as well as boosting an attack of 3 spirit characters by 1.75 times. The best Belly booster is Viola, who does boost the amount of Belly you get at the end of each stage, well, each island by ×3, which is 0.5 times more Belly, but you know, she doesn't boost any attack at all, so it's a bit harder to use. So if you want to use Kimono Vivi instead, that is an option. But yeah, not too important now, but you might run out of money when we start having to limit break a lot of units. Actually does become a problem in the future. And then third multi guarantee legend, 6th multi guarantee legend, nothing special about that. And then on the 9th multi, you guaranteed to get a Lucy, a Lucci V2 or V2 Law or a V2 Boa or Neko Mamushi. These legends overall are probably better than the 9th pulls that you get on the first part. So if you don't want 6+ Law, or at least like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like if you really want 6+ Law, go on part 1. But if you want like a higher chance of getting like a really OP legend that max special, then with your 450 gems on the 9th, on part 2 it might be better. And then the rate boosted units, Lucy again, V2 Lucci, really strong. He's probably better overall against than V1 Lucci, but both of them are pretty good. V2 Law, I mean, like if you want V2 Law, you'd probably pull on the first day. Aka Ainu, who's probably not really amazing as he used to be, but he's still really strong. Neko Mamushi, he is top tier in my opinion, still really good, a big HP boost. 3.75 times attack boost pretty much all the time. The only drawback obviously is when you get Bother or Meat or TND orbs. Log Luffy, not good. V2 Boa, really strong Stuart captain. If you get if you can get a V2 Boa in the Sugofest, then like you pick Ace as your free legend, you can just start out right there with a really strong shooter team. Aokaji is okay. 6+ form, he's pretty decent. I'd say he's more useful as a sub where you keep your orb boosts and type boosts, but like as a captain he can clear stuff. You just have to think about it a lot before you do it, because you have to plan out your route so you don't like just drop out your boost before you fight the boss. Jinbei, as I said before, is not very good. Croc is decent. When he gets the 6+ form, he becomes strength, and then you just get a ×2 or boost, not all boost, type boost to cerebral, so you don't have to drop below 1%, so that's really nice for future teams. Right now he's okay, he's not like one of the best to get. Mihawk, as I said before, is pretty good. Marco, he's a really nice sub, especially in forests when you need to fully heal and then get a 2-10 orb boost. So he's decent, not a top tier character by any means. Maybe once he gets to 6+, he might become really good again as a sub, but right now he's kind of okay. Sengoku's kind of garbage, as I said before. So those are the rate boosted legends. Other characters you can get. This is the main reason like I was a little sad. Both the Boa sisters, Santa Sonia and Marigold, are rate booster on this day. I really want those for my Neko team, but I'm probably care more about getting the 6+ law. I can obviously get lucky and then pull them on part 1, but more likely if I really wanted them more than anything else, I'd pull them on day 2, which is actually really cool. You can like get Neko Mamushi and the Boa sisters if you're lucky on part 2. There's also Kanjuro, who's really strong for striker teams. Well, you can get like the whole striker team like on part 2. He locks the chain to 2.75 times if your captain's a striker, as well as removing Despair and Bind by 5 turns. He's really strong. You can also get Carrot, he's okay. Raizo is really nice for Lucy teams since he deals with paralysis and silence. Those are the main characters that you would want. Pedro, pretty good as well. Don Chinjiao is better of one of the decent ones from the older rare recruits. But yeah, you can actually get like a super sweet striker team if you pull on day 2. Overall, I think these rare recruits are probably better than the ones on part 1. And if you need Irigi, then yeah, pretty decent to pull on part 2, at least for 50 gems. Now onto part 3, there is first multi-pull guaranteed to get 3rd anniversary Shanks. He's pretty useless in my opinion. He's okay, but like you probably have better stuff than 3rd Annie Shanks. His captain ability is just the worst version of Legend Rayleigh, and Legend Rayleigh isn't very good anyway. And then his special heals you your HP by 50% of your max HP. That's okay. Like if it was maybe 75%, I'd say he's pretty decent. Like especially if you want to use like a Shiryu team, because you know that's quite a lot of HP. But 50%, I don't know, not enough probably to be useful. Second multi guaranteed 3rd anniversary Boa. Again, not an amazing character, not essential anyway. Her special does boost the attack of fire and free spirit characters by 1.75 times. So she's a really nice sub for either Gear 4 or Time Skip Luffy teams. But you probably have something better to use. Like she's pretty versatile in that regard. Like you can use like a Gear 4 Time Skip Luffy like combo team for some reason if you want with her, especially. But like she's not useful. Like they're mostly trophy units. They can be used, but like they're not top tier or anything. Once again, 3rd and 6th multi-pull is guaranteed Legend, and the 9th multi-pull you're guaranteed to get a Lucy, Magellan, Inuarashi, God Usopp, or Shirahoshi Legend. These are probably worse than the second batch. I mean, from part 2. It's still pretty good. Magellan is again a really nice niche legend. If they don't remove poison, he's just really strong. You can just kill pretty much anything. But if they do have a default protector, he's just kind of useless. Like, because the main thing is his poison, and if you can't use that, then like you just wouldn't use him at all. Inuarashi, really good cerebral captain. He also is one of the 2 characters that gives you typeless bonus damage at the end of all your attacks, similar to Raid Sabo, which is actually really nice in a lot of situations. God Usopp is very niche. It's all about delay with God Usopp, so like, and like delay is kind of hard to use in a lot of content nowadays because they just don't let you delay them. Sometimes a lot of like hard content does let you do it, like Garp and stuff, but like I don't know, it's hard to fit him onto teams. Shirahoshi is a really nice sub for like Neko teams and stuff, gives you full matching orbs and heals you a lot. And as a captain can be used pretty nicely if you want to like stall for specials and stuff. Not top tier, but like really useful in a lot of situations. And the rate boosted units, Lucy again, Magellan, Inuarashi, God Usopp, Shirahoshi, pretty much anyone you can get on the knife multi. Cody Jones is really nice with his 6+ form. He's like a speedrunning captain. You get a big boost and your cooldowns are reduced at the beginning. It's kind of like a better version of Sengoku in that way. Kizaru, I really like Kizaru. It gives you full matching orbs pretty much for slasher and shooter teams, which slasher teams kind of like struggle with, so he's pretty nice to have, but like he's not top tier. Cavendish, pretty meh. His special where you remove positive buffs is actually kind of useful in a lot of ways. Like when you run into Colosseums or anything that like boost your orbs and attack by like 1.1 times for all turns, so like you can't use your specials. So if you use that to get rid of it, and then like you can use your main ones like later, but most of the time it's not great. Whitebeard, as I said before, is pretty decent. V1 Law, pretty meh. He does like boost attack by 4 times after like 4 perfects, but it's not really worth it. His special is pretty bad as well. He like, it's good if it was like on lower CD, and once he gets the limit break, that is true, but like still not amazing. Lets you use specials through barriers, but like it's not worth the slot. You're probably just better off just killing the boss with like other means. Legend of Flamingo is a really good sub. Gives you matching orbs adjacent to where he is, as well as boosting orbs by ×2. Captain Bay, he boosts driven by 3 times as long as you don't miss, or you don't hit if you hit a perfect every time. So he's pretty good, but like kind of getting outclassed, especially by like if you get V2 Law, you just won't use him on cerebral teams, and he's just left onto driven teams. And in the future, you probably want to use V2 Doflamingo. Still really strong, but like not as strong as he used to be. Legend Sabo, said before, he's not okay. he's okay, not great. Ray, not great. And then the rare recruits, Diamante version 2 is part of the other ones. I'm just not supposed to talk about him. Bon Clay is actually very useful against Raid Sanji, because he will remove the thing similar to Cavendish. Like, he just removes all the positive buffs, so like you can use your orb matching thing with Neko and Timeskip Luffy or Gear 4. So he's okay, not amazing. Ivankov makes your bother orbs matching, like that's okay as well. These rare recruits overall are decent-ish, but not as good as part 2. So the main reason to pull on the 3rd day I guess, is if you want the trophy units. Like I don't think like this is probably the worst part to pull. Like as I said in the beginning, like part 1 and part 2 they have like their benefits. Part 3 is kind of like a meh part. It's mostly if you just want the trophy units of Shanks and Boa. Otherwise I wouldn't really pull on them. So after that long ass explanation of all the parts, which part should you pull on? If you have 50 gems and you really need like someone to boost your pirate EXP, I say just go with Kimono Uruji. But like if you have 50 gems, you might as well just wait for like another Sugo and guarantee your legend with if you get up to 150. So yeah, probably if you really want a pirate EXP booster, go with Kimono Uruji on part 2. If you have 100 gems, I'd say maybe probably just go with part 1. That way you can get a guaranteed legend. You have a small chance of getting Lucy, and you also have a chance of getting some decent legends. 6 of them are pretty decent, so like, yeah, you could pretty get some good stuff with 100 gems on part 1. If you're going to do 3 multis, I'd say probably do part 2, because the rare recruits are probably just better overall. The legends that are rate boosted are just better overall on part 2 in my opinion. If you have 200 or 250 gems, that's kind of a weird spot because there's no guaranteed legends on the 445th or anything special on those multis. I'd say it's kind of important to like look at the rare recruits you'd want, or maybe even the legends if you're feeling really lucky, and then like pull on the day that you want to get those characters. And you know, if you still have gems even after you pull all the characters you want, you might spend them on a different part to try and hunt for different rare recruits. If you have 300 gems, then I'd say go with part 1 because obviously getting that maxed out 6+ lore is really nice. So unless you're like really crazy lucky and got 2 V2 laws already, getting a maxed out V2 law is really strong. If you're planning to do any more than 6 multis, then maybe it's probably better just to do all your pulls on part 2, because like you probably get V2 law anyway because he's rate boosted and you're doing so many pulls with a high legend rate that you'll probably get V2 law anyway. Obviously you won't come max special and level and all that stuff, but like, you know, that just takes time. If you're going to do a lot of pulls and you want the best like high quality rare recruits and legends, you'd probably go to part 2. Especially if you're doing 9 multis. If you're doing 9 multis, you probably just do part 2 100% because you'll probably like you either get V2 law or like 4 the other like really strong legends. The only drawback of course is that you'll get a lot of dupes like from the rare recruits especially. So if you actually have like too many of the legends that are rate boosted on the second part, I'd say just like if you're gonna whale it out, then like spread out your gems across all the parts just so you get like a lot of the rare recruits that you don't have. So in conclusion, if you are doing like 6 multis, I'd say go for part 1. If you're doing more than 6 multis, like up to 9, probably go for part 2. And if you have like a few gems, if you really want the Uruji, get the Uruji, and then otherwise probably just skip the Sugo and just save up for like a future event, because like if you have too few gems, it's kind of like a diminishing return. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I didn't realize it would be this long to discuss all the characters, but you know, it's pretty fun. Since we've been waiting for the Sugofest for so long, it was kind of important to like think it through before you spend all your gems. If you like this video, like, comment and subscribe. Join the Discord if you like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, my nakama!